YouTube. This is Witchy, and thank you for joining me for this video. So in this video, this is going to be a video response to a video entitled Witchy or Not, Here I Come by Mandi. I will put a link to the original video in the down bar. This video is maybe a week or so old, so it's not an immediate video response. Sorry about that, but as I said in my previous video, which you may or may not have seen, I haven't had a chance to, I haven't really been in the right headspace to make videos, but now I am, so here I am. So Mandi's original video was about basically what I won't go into the entire thing because you may have seen the video or you may be about to go watch the video, which is great. Please tell her I sent you. I'm joking. Hi Mandi. But her original video was basically about the fact that somebody had contacted her outside of YouTube and basically asked her the question, who are you when you're not being witchy? And the video basically focuses on her explanation of that and how surprised and shocked she was that somebody wanted to know the person behind the channel then, I suppose. And I found this really interesting, and I just wanted to sort of put my 2 pence across, really. Obviously, I don't have anywhere near as many subscribers as Mandi. I don't, some would say my channel is not nearly as professional looking. I don't have such a wide range of content, and I'm certainly not as well known. That said, I do still consider myself a content... I can't speak today. I do consider myself a content creator, and as such, I feel like I just wanted to pop in my tuppence worth then, I guess. Mandi basically said in the video that she wonders why more people, if I'm understanding this correctly, I may be slightly, reading my own interpretations into it, of course, as any YouTube video is subject to. But that said, I really do feel that she wondered why more people don't do that, in the sense of, wanting to know more about a person that they see on YouTube, and why people wonder things like that. For me, and I've made a couple of notes, which is why I keep looking over here, because I really want to sort of make sure that I explain this video in as best a way that I can, so that I'm not just rambling constantly for 3 hours and I still haven't answered the bloody question which I came on here to do. I think that the persona then that we put across in our YouTube videos on our channel, quite often that's tailored to the audience that we're aiming for. I mean, I make videos on my channel. The clue's in the name. It's Witchy. This is my channel is a portal then through which I connect with other witches, pagans, druids, wherever, all over the world. And I don't know really of any other medium which allows us to do that in such an interactive seeming way. And what I mean by interactive seeming is you can see me. I'm speaking directly to you. This is probably the closest thing that many of us, if you're in Australia, or if you're in Hong Kong, or if you're on the west coast of America, that's about as far as I can imagine distance-wise from where I am here in the UK. For quite a lot of people, this is the only way we will ever get to have what's close to a face-to-face conversation, unless we Skype, or we do a Google Hangout, or words to that effect. And I know a lot of my fellow witches on YouTube have started to do this now. I'm seeing a lot of streamed Hangouts, which is fantastic. That's really, really cool. But for those of us who don't do the live streams and don't do the Google Hangouts and don't do the Skype, it's tailored to what you want us to see. So this channel is about my witch, the witch in me, which is a pretty damn big aspect of me, really.
I am 100% a witch. That doesn't mean that I am not made up of other things. You know, it's not like I'm a tank that has a finite capacity, and like, so maybe like, say you fill the tank, you know, from the top of my head, and it starts at the bottom of my feet. I know this is a weird analogy, but stay with me here. Okay, so it's not to say that up to maybe here is witch, and then the rest of it is like, I don't know, what other things am I? Daughter, personal shopper, you know, what? That's not what I mean. What I mean is that I am always a witch, and Mandy has made this point herself on her own channel, on the video which I'm responding to. So this, I'm only showing you on this YouTube channel the witchy side of me, because that's where you've come here to see. You've typed into, you know, most people find other channels by typing into YouTube witch, or Wicca, or magic, or paganism, or whatever, and that's how you found me. So, more often than not, you know, unless you're a troll, more often than not, you've come to my videos and you watch my videos and you subscribe to me because you're interested in my aspect of witchcraft, where I do my own personal practice, and my own take on it, which is why we are here. That is pretty much what you're going to get on a witchy channel. But just because, how can I put it? Just because that's all we show you doesn't mean it's any less authentic. Okay? And I realise I'm basically reiterating the point that Mandy said, but I think it's important that I put my tuppence worth in, because it's a really interesting concept. In terms of contacting people outside of YouTube, I have tried to do that several times, and what I mean by that is, if I feel like the person I'm watching on YouTube is somebody that I think I could pursue a friendship with, in terms of, I like the person, I like their energy, I like their personality, I think we could, you know, it's the same as you do in, you know, outside of YouTube. If you happen to meet somebody at a, I don't know, at a workshop, or at a bar, or in your job, you know, if you meet someone that, excuse me, frog in my throat. If you meet someone somewhere that you click with and that you feel a connection to, you pursue a friendship, you know, and that's how we make friends. That's how human relationships are formed. It is a little harder on YouTube though, because there is the barrier of the screen, and especially with popular YouTubers and YouTubers that have loads of, you know, subscribers and loads of videos, and they probably, you know, they're on Facebook and they're on Twitter and they're on Instagram and they're on everything by the kitchen sink. It can be a little harder to make contact because, again, I'm speaking sort of from the other side of the fence, because I'm not an especially popular YouTuber at the time of this video anyway. I would like to have more subscribers, I would like to have more views, but that's not the reason I do this, okay? It's not a popularity contest, it's just, this is my outlet for my practice, and I enjoy interacting with the rest of the community. Let's just get that out of the way and draw that line before we go any further. So, if I'm watching somebody that I would like to be friends with, that I think I could, you know, get on really well with outside of YouTube and maybe get to know a little bit, I will reach out, okay? I've reached out to a couple of people over the years. Some have responded nicely, some haven't responded at all. Some I'm friends with on Facebook, which is great, and I've met maybe one or two in person, which is equally good. But I think that, especially, you know, the more popular the YouTubers are, there is such a thing as the YouTube celebrity mind, and that, you know, you think sometimes, oh, well, you know, this person has 50,000 subscribers, or this person has 1 million subscribers, or they're not going to want to hear from me. What could I possibly have to offer them that they haven't heard before, they haven't seen before? I think there's a little bit of that to it. For me personally, I like to reach out and make contact and maybe ask the person if they're interested in, you know, in communicating outside of YouTube and getting to know each other a little bit and, you know, forming a connection. And most of the time people are quite open to that. But every time I do that, there is a little thing in the back of my mind, a little bit of fear saying, am I going to come across as really nosy for doing this? Am I going to come across as creepy for doing this? You know, for asking, for wanting to know more about somebody that I've seen online, somebody that I've seen on YouTube. There is that little bit of fear in the back of my mind of saying, you know, what are they going to think of this request? Am I being presumptuous? And I think there's that aspect to it. Also in the past, I have reached out to other content creators with that in mind. And they're not open to it at all. They've got the sort of YouTube celebrity mindset in the sense that they're like, I don't want to speak to you. You know, they're not necessarily rude or, you know, impolite or anything like that, but what they can be is quite dismissive. They're not open to forming friendships. They're not interested in the two-way interaction then. It's just, I put this out there and you will listen. If you want to. You know, it's that kind of a thing. And they can get quite defensive, and I think that can put people off sometimes, which is really sad. And of course, you know, I don't have to mention it in the witchy community on YouTube recently. There has been some drama, which I think has caused people to close ranks even more than they normally would. You know, people are afraid to interact. People are afraid to post up videos on certain things. Well, I'm not. Here is my my channel is always going to be 100% authentic to me and what I think and what I do and what I am and what I believe. I am not going to... I don't go on other people's channels and post comments, negative comments, because at the end of the day, that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the content creator for sure, and it doesn't help me. If anything, I feel bad about the fact that I posted a negative comment, so I don't do it. If I don't like the content of someone's video, I click off. If I think something, and I do have people in the YouTube community that I do consider as personal friends, if I see a video by someone that I think, oh, that's a little dicey there, you caught in a little bit of controversy there, which is fine, more often than not, people don't mean to offend, and people put out content on YouTube with the best of intentions, more often than not, I personally believe. So if, something is perceived as being offensive or out of character, just contact the person. Drop a YouTube message. If you're friends with them on Facebook, drop a Facebook message if you can. Just say, because I've had issues in the past with depression, okay? And sometimes people act out because they don't know how else to express what's going on with them. So sometimes just a message saying, hey, I saw your video on XYZ. It's a little out of character for you. Are you okay? That's what you need to do. But anyway, I've gone off on a completely different tangent from what I intended to make the video about. Going back to Mandi's video, she made a really interesting point. There are aspects of her personality that she thinks might shock some of her subscribers who are used to seeing, the witch, Mandi the witch, And I get that, Mandi, I really do, because there are aspects of my personality also that I think would probably, not shock, but surprise quite a few of my subscribers. I, too, am very sweary. Mainly because it's my husband's fault. I did not swear until I moved in with my husband, and now they're probably in my top 10 most used words. I try not to unless, obviously I don't swear in front of children, I don't swear in front of my parents because it's respectful, unless it slips out and then I'm like, and then we laugh, and yeah. I mean, I'm 33 years of age, I'm perfectly able to use adult language in front of my parents, however I don't, because I don't think it's respectful. So yeah, there is that aspect. I also enjoy horror movies. I can honestly say I've never shouted I've never shouted at the TV doing that part of Poltergeist, which Mandi makes reference to. But I get where you're coming from. Again, unlike a lot... I don't want to go into this because I don't really want to make a big deal out of it, but I will just mention it briefly. A lot of pagans are vegan or vegetarian, and for them that, you know, that's all tied in with their spirituality and their belief system. I'm not, okay? I'm a carnivore. I eat meat. I enjoy meat. I do try to make sure that it's ethically sourced, that it's, you know, I only buy free-range chicken, I only buy free-range eggs. I try to buy organic, you know, other meats or grass-fed or whatever, so that, you know, but I've tried going vegan and vegetarian and it hasn't worked for me personally. It's made me ill in the past. It's just not a lifestyle choice that suits me at this moment in time. However, that does not mean that maybe in 10 years' time things will be different and I'll take it up. I don't know. But there is that. Other than that, you know, we're human at the end of the day. We're not always going to... I don't know why we're doing this. Wow, 60 minutes. We're not always going to act 100%, you know, if you follow the Wiccan read. You know, I think it's actually probably impossible to harm none 100% of the time. It's not possible. And I don't think it's meant as an actual out-and-out law. I think it's more a case of a consideration, you know. So it is something that we aspire to. Harm none where you can. Because, and I've said this beforehand, but to eat, okay, something has to be harmed. Whether it's a plant, you know, you're taking the life force of a plant just as much as you are an animal. Whether it's an animal that's had to be killed for food, whether it's a plant that has had to be harvested. Basically, the reason food works is because we're literally consuming the life force of something else. That is the entire idea behind food. That's why it works, in my opinion. So, going on that, the only way we can truly harm none is if we don't eat. And then that doesn't work because we are harming someone, we're harming ourselves. So this is just illustrating the point that I'm clumsily trying to make. And I realise that I've rambled on for a very long time. So I am going to stop shortly. Let me just quickly check my... Wow, 17, nearly 18 minutes. Okay, I'm going to stop now because you're probably going, oh, hurry up, Kim, I'm bored. If you're still here. If you are still here, thank you for watching this far. I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to end this here. Mandi, I hope you enjoy this video response. I will inform you, as you asked, that I've made this video. Comments are always welcomed. If you'd like to message me, you know, by all means. I do check my YouTube messages. I don't always get notifications that I have a YouTube message, but if I do, I will jump on it straight away, and more often than not, I answer nearly all of my YouTube messages. So, rest assured I will see it at some point. Equally... Oh, I need to get a drink. What's wrong with my throat? Equally, you can message me through Facebook if you have my Facebook. Or just contact me. Excuse me. Ooh! I'm boring myself now. That's why I'm doing it. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up here. If you have any comments, questions, whatever, please do let me know. Pop in the comments, send me a message, whatever. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you very much for sitting in and listening to me ramble for 19 whole minutes. It is very much appreciated, and I will see you soon. Blessed be. Bye bye.